Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Merry Christmas, Crăciun fericit. And since we are at it, I would like to share in this video two direct experiences regarding Christmas in communist Romania and my enlightenment in the United States of America, which is I realized that these guys have been lying to you about how we were allowed to celebrate and to worship Christianity and other religions. I would like to tell you that they lied to you, and I will give you the example when I realized these guys have been lying to you. And I will tell you some lies coming from Romanian immigrants in the United States of America when I went to their churches, in search of this and that. And I realized that these guys are lying. They use the same lie. But nevertheless, it's a half-truth, let's put it this way. So what happened? Indeed, the communists said we are atheists, but it was like a parallel society. One that you employ when you go to work, and the other one when you meet your boys and you have fun. That is, when you go to work, you're a professional. When you meet your boys and you drink something, you become yourself, which is drop your guard, and that's you. So the same over there. It was how we were supposed to behave in a society, in the communist society, and the other one, the real society, which is priests were not hanged, churches were not burned by the communists. Yes, there were one or two or three incidents when they had to remove a church, they picked it up, moved to the side so they can make boulevards. There's videos on YouTube, you can see that. Yes, most of the I don't have a percentage, but I know priests were working with the authorities, with the Securitatea. So you go over there and say, priest, forgive me, priest, for doing this and that, okay? And they will go and tell the security. That's another story. That was one of the reasons why religion was not banned. They were sucking information from the people. Now, you could go to the church. There was nobody looking for you. The churches were open. They were worshiping, singing, all that. That was a lie. These guys lied to you. And another evidence is look at for instance, in Russia, in the Red Square. What do you see over there? Churches. Do you remember Stalin when he was over there waving in the Red Square? The troops were coming next to the church. I can't remember the basilica's name, but nevertheless, it's right there, Bartolomeo or whatever it is. So if he was so bad, remember, Stalin, he tried to become a priest. He went to school to become a priest. But nevertheless, and he was not Russian, together with Trotsky, who was not Russian. And Trotsky, anyway, we're not going to go into that. So yes, communism doctrine says atheism, but the society was still worshipping. You see processions, you see, for instance, weddings, you have the priest coming, you see, going to the cemetery, you have the priest over there. So it was not anything underground. It was right there. I know funerals, processions in my town, okay, they were in the street with all that, all that over there, with the priests up front, and it was nothing hidden. Now, why do I say these guys lied to you? I will tell you. In my conversations with some American friends and acquaintances in various circumstances, they said that it was banned, Christianity was banned over there, any worship of any kind of religious was banned, which is not true. The priests were hanged and killed and all that. It was a general statement, not like, oh, some happened. No. And then they said churches were burned and closed. That is a lie. I've been to church in the communist times. My father was in the area and nobody stopped him from going to the church. You could go over there. I know someone else who was in the security forces. Let's put it this way. Nobody said anything if he was going to church. Why? They didn't want to rock the boat. It was a parallel state, parallel society. They might talk to you, like, hey man, don't do it so obvious, which I know for a fact, all right? He's been told that, don't do it so obvious, go do your thing, and they were also worshiping. It's like you have to follow a policy that you don't believe in. At work, for instance, I'm pretty sure you went through that. So how did I realize that? I like to read dictionaries. Not the translation dictionaries, but dictionaries where you have an alphabetical order, notions, historical events. I like history. I like to learn. I like to know. I'm a curious George. I like to know things. Why? So I can understand and then I can apply. Remember? Apply? Okay. So in one of when I came to the United States of America, you didn't have much information about the United States of America, where I come from. I looked for some books. Not really. I wanted to understand what's going on here, where I'm going to be living. So when I got here, I went to the library in my town, and I picked some dictionaries. Those dictionaries that are like 20 volumes, A to C, D to E, and blah, 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 blah. One of those. So I started reading about Romania, about as much as I could. At those times, internet was not a big thing. So I didn't go on, hey, let's Google, let's Yahoo, or whatever. No, it was the books, still books. So while reading over there about the communism, it was written over there for the Americans. And these were from the 1960s and 70s. And, I didn't read only one set of Webster, of the dictionaries. I read more. But it was consistently, I found this thing. Religion was banned, Christianity was banned, priests were this, churches were this, people were not going, could not worship, and so on. That's another lie. And I said, no, that's not true. These guys that was for me an enlightenment, personal enlightenment. I go, what the hell, these guys are lying. It's not that. It's not that. There might have been some cases, but that was definitely not the general rule whatsoever. So that's one. The other one was after the fall of the Iron Curtain. This says, oh, now I was here. After I heard and I read a lot of articles saying now the Russians and the Romanians can start worshiping because they're all atheists. That was another lie for you, right? Now, these guys are lying. I didn't think they were lying that much. I had a colonel in the security forces in Romania who told me one time, you know who lies the most? I said, who? The Americans. I said, fuck, no. Well, I think that's been confirmed to me. And I'm not talking about the Americans in general. I'm talking about their media and their government. And he was 100% right. Not that others don't lie. They all lie. But I didn't believe that these guys, it was so hypocritical. The free world, the free mass media, the freedom of the press, and they lie not only by omission, straight lie. Now, when I came to America, I went to some churches. I went to some Orthodox churches, I went to some Pentecostal churches, I went to many Romanians, Americans, whatever churches, African American churches, and I like to experience, to learn. And in the Romanian Pentecostal churches, it was like a theme whenever they were mentioning those times. I have here something, because I always forget this word in Romanian language. Because they were using this word consistently. And I'm not here to bash any religion, but some people who were pushing this in this Pentecostal church. Not only one, I think it was 3. One in Romania and 2 here. Where they say that they were prigoniți. That's the word. I don't use prigoana and prigoniți. This is a word for me that's like... Anyway, prigoniți is like you're chased after, like the Christians were hunted down by the Romans. Remember, they upside down and all that thing? All right, yeah, Paganini. So they were prigoniți in Romania in the communist times. So they weren't like the Christians in their beginnings, and then when they took the power, they fucked everybody else. But hey, that's a different story. We don't talk about that one here because it's Christian. It's Christmas. For me, Christmas is not related to Jesus Christ, just so you know. For me, Christian is something else. It's something about love, and that doesn't come in my book from that. Family, understanding, generosity. This is what's for me Christmas. And Christmas is obviously the remembering the good times with your parents when you were a child and everything was carefree and loving and everything was good as it was for a baboon child. So they were prigoniți. First, these Pentecostals were considered a sect. Not even the Christian Orthodox Church was considered a state religion after that, but it was the main one. The Catholics were okay, the Protestants were okay. These were the main 3 and the only 3. The Pentecostals were considered a sect, like many others, like the Jehovah's Witnesses and so on. But they were prigoniți. That is, They had a lot of contact with the West. I'm not going to go into that, how they communicated and what they did. Nevertheless, they were looked frowned upon by every other Romanian who was Orthodox, Catholic, or a Protestant. But they were prigoniți. Anyway, they were infiltrated like the communists infiltrated the Orthodox, the Catholics, and all that. You have to. Like here, these guys are infiltrated as well. So this is with that. What else we got? How did we celebrate Christmas? At least in my family and the people around us. You go in, the same here, you go and buy your Christmas tree. No, they're for sale. You can buy globes, ornaments, with Santa Claus mostly. But you can buy, with Jesus Christ, crosses. You could display a cross if you want. You could have crosses. You can do the sign. There was nothing illegal about it. Some people celebrate that birth of Jesus Christ. Okay, that's their thing. Even though we know that actually the 25th, 24th, it's a pagan festivity, holiday, taken by these guys and put together. The Christmas tree, again, is not a Christian symbol. It's the pagan mixed with these guys. They always mixed. They always borrowed. I mean, what do you want? Shepherds in the desert? What do you expect? Anyway, illiterate. Anyway, what do you think they did after they took over? They learned after they destroyed temples and they banned other religions, the Roman, our religions, and they did what they did with their priests and so on. Now, we're not going to go into that. What did we do? So you buy the Christmas tree, you put ornaments, which happened on the 24th. That's how we do. We're on the 24th, you put the Christmas tree, you pop, and then you eat at the table. We never said anything religious. It's not because we were not allowed. Maybe my family was, my family was not you could go to church if you want. I went, I think, to church more than everybody else in a family. But I don't know if my father, how many times he went over there, or my mother, maybe, I don't know. Nevertheless, not much. But we're not a religious thing, but it was not illegal. But for us, Christmas was, as I said, family, old times, good times, having, a loving evening and so on. It was nothing about this. Then we would go and sing carols as kids or adults. A group of adults would go from house to friends and sing carols in the communist Romania. And the carols were all religious ones. All religious ones. O ce veste minunată and all that. We went and drank and we were singing. Okay, so we were having a good time. There was no arrest. Everybody was doing that. And you would go to church on the 24th to 25th, and it was the same thing with the Easter. You go to church. Nobody would stop you. So they lied to you, and they've been lying to you. This free world and your government. They all lie. They all lie. So I did this with the intention of bashing one group or two, the Western mass media and the Western politicians. And I hope you guys sue me, I don't know, say whatever you want. Everything I said here is true. Now, if you had this information, if you didn't have this information, go and verify. Don't trust, don't believe, verify. All right, my friends? So the same here. I had a good time. By the way, the presents in my family were opened in the evening of the 24th, not the morning of the 25th. That's the way we were. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Merry Christmas to you. Crăciun fericit. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.